What's up guys, my name is Chris, or Tentacalist, and today I'm going to try and answer a question that is asked a lot on forums such as Reddit, Game4Qs, the general discussion board on League of Legends, and that is, when should I play ranked? People want to know, I've just hit level 30, should I start playing ranked? And more times than not, the answer is no, you aren't ready to play ranked yet. Now, obviously you've got the complete entry level requirements that Riot sets, which is to be level 30, and have 16 champions. The 16 champions, if you didn't already know, is because between the 6 bans and the fact that there's 10 people, that's 16 different champions that are going to be picked. So if you have less than that, there's a chance you will not have a champion to pick. And then obviously level 30 is just being level 30. But there's much more than that is required. You can't just hit level 30 and think, right, I'm now in this exclusive club. I'm level 30, therefore I now should play ranked. I've seen people ask questions, should I play ranked? And then you look them up on LoLKing, for example, and you see they don't have any rune pages complete, or they have no mastery pages, and it's just, these things mean a lot early game, like having good rune pages and masteries, and that kind of also sets the tone for how you possibly are as a player. If you don't prepare as much as other people, then you're already putting your team at a disadvantage. So understanding the basics is a huge thing for League of Legends, especially when you're playing ranked, and even just stuff like learning how to last hit properly. That is a big thing. That is how you get gold. A lot of people seem to go in with the mindset of, I need to kill as many people as possible. That's how I'm going to make money in this game. That's not always the case. If you get, I think it's like between 15 and 20 minion kills, that equates to 1 kill. So if you're in mid, for example, and your enemy mid laner disappears, you don't know if they've gone top or bottom, but you call the SS, if they don't get a kill and you manage to pick up, 10 CS on them, you're already halfway to a kill that they missed out on. So learning how to last hit is a huge thing. If you can't last hit properly, you should not play ranked. Learning that wards are a huge deal. Wards are the biggest thing in the game. You need to buy wards. Wards save lives. You may have heard that. It's true. You need to buy wards. There's a huge thing. Understanding champion builds, like making sure that if you're AD carry, that you are building the right items. You do not want to build the wrong things. Even if you get hair, let's say if support gets you a couple of kills early game, and then you do nothing with it, you may as well have not got those kills. So you need to make sure that you understand how you build these champions. Basically, learning what is required at the basic level to understand, how you do well in the game. If you don't learn that and you just jump straight into ranked, then chances are you will lose, and it could possibly be your fault. It's not always your fault, and the unfortunate thing is a lot of people don't see it as their own fault. They think that they've done everything perfectly fine because they may have a few kills and not that many deaths, but if they don't have any minions killed, so they don't have any money, and it all comes down to knowing the basics, basically. Champions and the roles that they play. Now, it's great knowing one champion. There's a video, I'll link it in the description, by gbay99, where he posts the benefits of playing just one champion. And there are a lot of benefits to that, but if you don't get that champion, it's sometimes hard to transition well into a different champion. So if you do learn just one champion really well, that's great, but have some backups, have some champions that in case that's banned out, have some stuff that's similar. So if you play someone mid, like if you play a Katarina mid, maybe pick a top who is good at roaming and can get kills quite easily. Because Katarina is a common ban. And then the roles, make sure you know all the roles. Don't go into ranked and be that guy that says, I can only do mid. If you don't let me go mid, I'm just going to go AFK, or I'll feed. Don't be that guy. There's more roles to learn. You have to learn them. Even support. Some people don't like support because they just think it's the most boring role. Make it not boring. Have some fun. Pick an aggressive support. You can do that. You can pick people like Leona. Leona is an extremely aggressive support. She's very, very strong. And she kind of allows for a little bit more than just a babysit lane like with Soraka. So learn some champions. Learn as many champions as you can. Obviously if you have just a few that you're really, really strong with, then that's very good. And then learn all the roles. Make sure you know how to jungle. Make sure you know how to go top. Don't just choose one champion for each role, because if you want to go top, for example, as Darius, and then somebody on your team picks jungle Darius before you, your top is now taken. You don't have a top. So if you can't get any of the lanes, you now have a champion you don't know how to use. So learn a couple of champions for each role. That is what I would say at a bare minimum. And also, like I said before, learn what you build. Runes and masteries. Again, these are a huge part of the game. They don't seem like it because they seem like small, insignificant statistics, but they can make the difference between getting a kill or getting killed. Like, if you don't have the armor that you need from whatever masteries, or if you don't have the runes that you should have to pick up a kill, if you don't have like attack runes, then you're missing out on a little bit of attack every time you attack. And so, yeah, on one attack it might not seem very much, but the fact that you can get multiple attacks in, that additional damage will stack up. And it also adds up with the masteries. If you go down let's say you go an AD character, if you have attack damage runes and attack damage masteries, yeah, as a single number you might look at it and be like, that doesn't really mean much to me. I don't need that, it's pointless. I don't want to waste my time buying the runes. I'd rather buy more champions. That's a bad way of looking at it. You need to look at it as though every single time you attack, that much is also being added on. So make sure that you have the proper runes and masteries. You can find these resources all over the internet. Solomid, for example, the website, has a great stuff. Obviously, we're just going into Season 3, and so not everyone's fully aware of how good certain masteries are, certain items or runes, and but over the next few weeks, people are going to learn these things, and they're going to make it so that it's available for everyone. They will put it online. You'll be able to see how it works. In terms of the champions, make sure you also know the lane matchups. Kind of like understand who beats who. Other people, like who beats who. Because you don't want to pick a champion just because you know how to play them into a champion that is going to just shut you down. And no, that's not always the case, and there is always skill involved. So if you're really strong Katarina and they pick Diana against you to go mid, that's supposed to be hugely in Diana's favor. But if they don't know how to do Diana and you know how to use Katarina, then obviously it can change. It can be much better. Also, you can try and push the lane and then try and roam, pick up your kills that way. The mentality. This is a huge part. This, for me, is one of the biggest parts about playing ranked, is you have to have the right mentality. You will get trolled. You will get people that leave unintentionally and intentionally. You will get people that don't know what they're doing. This will happen to everyone. It's not you. It's not just like specifically being launched at you, this whole hatred, You just have to shrug it off. If it happens, it happens. I'm sorry to say, it will happen. And sometimes when it does happen, it's not necessarily the end of the game. Solo queue is full of mistakes. People make mistakes all the time. I don't think I've ever had a game where I haven't made some mistake during the game, and sometimes it's late game and it can result in me getting caught out and killed. That can be enough to turn a game around. So if you feel like you're losing because it's a 4v5, you never know. The enemy team might start getting cocky. Don't get yourself into a slump and start thinking, oh, well, it's GG, let's just surrender. You don't have to necessarily just surrender. You can turn it around. It's possible. It's always possible. Obviously, if you get like 2 or 3 people leave, yeah, you might be pretty much just screwed at that point. But generally speaking, there's always going to be a chance. There will always be some mistake the enemy makes where you can capitalize on it. You just have to be aware, and you also have to make sure that you do capitalize on their mistakes. So in terms of trolls and stuff, you just have to take it. I'm sorry to say, but they will do it. People will troll you, people will harass you, people will rage at you. Just don't let it get to you. There is a mute feature in the actual game. You just hold tab, and you can see next to everyone's names on the right a little speaker. You can just click it and it will mute that person. Just mute everyone. If that's the way you want to play it, just as soon as the game starts, mute everybody. Same with mentality. Be available to be flexible. Make sure that if they are saying, like, we need support, no one else is saying that they're going to play support, be a good sport about it. Say, I'll play support. Because, like I said, it's not going to be every single game this happens to you. It's just every now and again. And the best thing you can do, really, is to just stay calm about it. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to go over with ranked, is just make sure you understand how to play the game at the basic level. I understand that everyone knows like how to play the game because they're level 30, but make sure that you know the champions, make sure you know what they can build and what's good on them. Runes and masteries, make sure you set those up properly. You can get all these resources online, you can see everything. And then the mentality, that's a huge part for me, to make sure you understand what you're getting into and make sure that you're staying positive. If you are communicating with your team, that's a huge thing. Like some people don't communicate and then they rage when something happens because they weren't communicating, and so you didn't know that's what they wanted to do. They might just run into 3 people thinking you're following them. If you don't, they're going to rage at you. They just will. They always will. it will always be your fault. Just keep that in mind. It's always your fault. Because it's just the way people are. People don't like to place blame on themselves. If you can start doing that, then you'll become a better player. Play to win. Just play to win. Every game you play, don't play it to rage or to hate or to get into arguments. Just don't bother. Just play to win. Only go for the objectives you want to do. Try and lead your team. Be the leader. Even if you're support, it doesn't matter. Try and lead your team. If Dragon's up and you know you can go for it and it's safe to do, you've just killed their jungler and the AD carry, ping the dragon. Let's say let's do this dragon now. This will give us a slight more advantage in the game. So that kind of comes into the basics again, understanding the basics. The objectives, know what to go for. Know when to go for towers, know when to go for dragon or baron. And know when to farm. Don't farm wraiths if your mid is being ganked by a jungler. So that's basically it. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, be sure to give it a rating of a like, preferably. Share it on Facebook and Twitter. And yeah, if you want to see more, I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff over the next forever, basically, of League of Legends stuff. So subscribe. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you later. Goodbye.